18 to 25, you are cooked. You're going to World War III. If you are 26 to 39, you are still cooked because the age cap's at 39. You going to World War III. If you have ADHD, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you have diabetes, congratulations, you ain't going to World War III. If you've ever been put in a mental facility, congratulations, you are not going to World War III. If you are in college, I'm sorry, you are cooked. They actually want you more for the draft because they want to put you in a specialized position. You are going to World War III. If you have a master's degree, you are cooked. If you dropped out of high school, you are safe from World War III. They don't want you. If you are a felon, you are not going to World War III. Now is the best time to be a felon. If you are LGBTQ, I'm sorry, you are cooked. You are still going to World War III. Now, if you're transitioning, you are safe. You are not going to World War III. If you are your only mother's son, I am sorry, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you are a woman, you are only half cooked because men are required to go first, but at any time, Congress can change legislation if they need more people. If you have kids, you are going to World War III. But if you're actively pregnant, you are not going to World War III. If you have major depressive disorder or severe anxiety, you got to be able to prove, it got to be documented, or you are cooked. If it's not documented, you going to World War III.
This is Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Call Halal Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakahak Radash. Double honors to the elder apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, for teaching his word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, and peace and salutations to the sincere Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. To you I say shalom. So it's articles and different publications, different mainstream media has announced that in December 2026, they'll be implementing the draft. You know, your name will automatically be drawn and you're going to have to report. You know, that is going to be the month the young men of Babylon will begin to moan, because you're going to have to go to battle for Babylon's sake, you know, and you ain't got no choice. Your name is going to be automatically put into that pool. You know, how they got your name, you ask? How they know who you are? It's through your slave papers, man. That birth certificate and that social security card. So they already know who you are. You know, the government keeps tabs on their slaves, man. These people keep tabs on who they have in their society. So there's going to be an automatic enrollment into Babylon's military. You know, the last time a draft was implemented was sometime in the 70s. Back then, you had a lot of cats that didn't want to go, but you had a lot of people that actually wanted to sign up and quote unquote defend their country, which is like an oxymoron. But Jakes have no business being in Esau's military. But this is all part of the scriptures, man. You're going to be thrust into battle. You're going to be sent to that valley of Jehoshaphat, man, to go to war. And as scriptures say, man, many gonna perish over there. You're going to fall by that sword. The modern day sword is that gun. So you're going to be victims. All those little wild, untamed YNs, you're going to battle. All you cats in college, you going to battle. You know? And there's a video that I'm going to present. it's stated, it doesn't, like kids in college, you're gonna specialize in something. You little knucklehead YNs that like to play with guns and play in these streets, you're gonna be thrust upon that front line. Many of our children, many people that all these kids that you see running around in the streets that's of age, between the ages of 18 and 25 to start, but the mandate is 18 to 42, and it might even go a little higher than that. You're all gonna get thrust into this battle. If you don't have the Lord Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi on your side, if you're not part of his elect, if he's not watching out for you, he's not looking out for you, your ass is going to war. And it's being set up, The Most High, man, he orchestrated this script. So you being sent to the desert to die. No doubt about it. You go over there and fight, you eventually be fighting against the Lord. And the Lord he's gonna demolish you. All these policies and all these things come down the pipeline while the simple-minded, they stay asleep. They wallowing in their iniquities. They're partying, they're drinking. They're having a good old time here in Babylon. You're gonna have a good old time. You have a good old time and dance your ass right into war. And that's what's gonna happen. Thus saith the scriptures, man. The scriptures say so. So instead of, keeping your focus on what's really going on out here in the world, you choose to, play around with nonsense, deal with nonsense, have your mind infected with things that truly don't matter. So, while you chose to party and bullshit, Babylon is preparing you for war. They're preparing to dump you in the middle of World War III, man. This is Joel 3, and I'm gonna read verses 1 and 2. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So during that time, man, World War III, man, in the midst of those missiles being launched, the Lord Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi is going to redeem his people. He's coming to get his people. So if you haven't prepared yourself, if you haven't kept the oil in your lamp, if you haven't been diligent, if you haven't been in any scriptures and learning the true doctrine of Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi, praying to Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi, begging for mercy, repenting, building your faith, building your spirit up, you're finished, man. You're gonna be dealt a dirty hand. This is verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahawashi in the Hebrew, and I will plead with them. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So, you got those imposters over there in the land, those Israelites, they definitely committed identity theft, and that's the head of the Edomites. That's the head of the Esau nation, man. That's Amalek. And they have set Babylon up lovely, all according to the the will of the Most High, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, he set Babylon up lovely, man. They got Babylon fighting their wars. They've been after Iran, like them small hats been after that. Iran, that land that Iran sits on. They've been after that land for over 40 years, man. And they finally got a dickhead president who's willing to go out there and do their bidding. Even though they all do their bidding, but this is how the Most High set it up, man. And that Orange 8, man, he's the perfect idiot to go out there and do it, to fulfill prophecy. So that land of Jehoshaphat is in the so-called Middle East. That's Western Asia. So that's where the Battle of Armageddon is going to take place. Armageddon. That's where that battle is going to take place. That's where that's where they're going to decide to come up against the Lord. When it's time, when the Lord is ready to, let them things go. When he put that spirit on them to launch, to launch those missiles and fight back. That's where it's going to be held at. That's where it's going to be at. So, all you young cats, man, you got to get prepared, man. Get your mind right. Because you don't have much longer before this thing kicks off. And if you haven't gotten to know the Most High, if you haven't come back to the Most High, and his name is Yahawah, and his only begotten son's name is Yahawashi. If you haven't come back into a remembrance, then it's over for you. You're through. You're cooked. You're finished. Finito. Put another lamb on the. Put another lamb chop on the barbie, man. You're cooked. But it's all part of prophecy, man. Only 1/3 of Israel is gonna be delivered through that fire. 2/3 of Israel must be purified through fire, and this is gonna be the lake of fire. Babylon will be that lake of fire. To toast the wicked, to toast the heathen that's here, and purify 2/3 of Israel. Those that chose to have fun, that chose to continue to live in the lifestyle that they live and not abide in the scriptures, not abide in the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and just play that. They played the ignorant role, man. And it was done to your detriment, But this is the story of the Most High, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. This is his movie. This is how he set it all up, man. Not everybody's going to be saved, but Israel is granted everlasting salvation. So those that die on this side, those that are part of that lake of fire, you will be born through the 1/3 in the kingdom, But this is Sirach 26 and 28 in the GNT. There are two things that make me sad, and the third that makes me angry. A soldier who has become poor, intelligent people who are not respected, and a righteous person who turns to evil. The Lord would punish such a person with death. So, that's the whole thing about dealing with Babylon's, military structure. People go out there, man. He don't even care about his own people, let alone, Jake, The young men go out there to battle. They go out there and sacrifice themselves for the good, quote unquote, the good of this country, which is that's another oxymoron, Babylon was set up from the beginning to be a wicked place, to be all those past wicked kingdoms all rolled up into one. So it was set up that this place was going to be a lake of fire. That's what John saw in the island of Patmos, man. That's what all the prophets saw. They saw that this place was going to be a lake of fire, you know, and the people were going to perish here. But Babylon don't take care of its soldiers. They go to war. They come back maimed. They come back injured. They come back with PTSD. They come back with all sorts of drug afflictions. They come back with diseases, you know. They come back to no jobs. They come back to no health care. You know, they come back to be disrespected. So, you know, it's like a double-edged sword when you really think about it, man. It's like fool's gold. You know, you play around with Esau and his wickedness. All you're gonna do is burn yourself, man. All you're gonna do is you know, put yourself in the worst position. And even if you do happen to slip through the cracks and make it big in Esau society, you gotta do some old bullshit. You gotta do wickedness in order to maintain it, man. Outright wickedness. There's not a Jake nor an Edomite who's made it here or quote unquote became a success without doing something wicked, you know, bowing the knee to Baal, you know, sacrificing children to Moloch or Molech, you know. So this place is the land of wickedness, man. And it's all right that this place go down in a fiery flame, man. Become just a pit of fire, man. That's why it's called the lake of fire. This place gotta go, man. More sooner than later. But we all know that we on the Most High's time. So, but you can see it's coming close, man. Be getting there. So, intelligent people who are not respected, you know, that's Babylon, and you know, that's pretty much everywhere in the world, man. You know, intelligent people aren't respected, man. They just on a higher echelon of slavery. Because if you're not part of those rich, wicked elite banking families, man, you subjugated to these people, man. You subjugated to these demons. You subjugated to these wicked individuals who dwell in witchcraft. And a righteous man who turns to evil. And you know, if you're not part of the elect, man, you're gonna find yourself doing wickedness, man. But you know, when you come back into remembrance, man, you're supposed to shake all that stuff off. You're supposed to reform yourself, you know. Throw away the old man, you know. So if you come into this thing and you turn your back and start doing wickedness, man, you go back into the world. Excuse me, Salaka, you go back into the world. These things the Lord said, He gonna punish you, man. He gonna put you to death. The Lord Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi is gonna put you to death. This is 2nd Ezra 16, and read verses 1 and 2. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Assyria, Salakia, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And destruction is on its way, man. You know, to all these different heathen nations and the wicked, man, and 2/3 of our people. And if you go out there, you know, and fight for this, man, fight for this wicked nation. The Lord gonna put that spirit on you, man. Whether he take you out then or he put that spirit on you to go to battle with him, either way, man, you're cooked, man. You're finished if you go over there. You know, they say what is a $250,000 fine, 5 years in prison. Yeah, I think that'd be the wisest option to take, man. And then they still might just you know what I'm saying, drug you and you find yourself in, you know, in Western Asia in the middle of a battle. So, you know, it's probably no win situation with this thing here now. You know, but you'll be better off not, you know what I'm saying, trying to duck and dodge that and take that financial hit and some prison time, man. You know, at least you ain't in that battle, man. But what it's looking like, man, is like I honestly don't see them doing that, man. Because if push come to shove and they need the body, man, they might hit you with that fine and throw your ass in prison. Or push come to shove, they'll drug you and take you out there, man. You know, you find yourself in the middle of a battle, find yourself in the middle of a war. But this is 2 Ezra 16:11. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. So, man, listen, you go out there and fight in this war, the Lord gonna beat you into powder. The Lord Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi is going to destroy you. This is our Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And that's through this internet, man. All his wickedness is being displayed right before your eyes through the internet, man. Word of mouth, through cyberspace. Because everybody has a camera phone. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants their voice heard. So everybody's going, you know, any and everybody's going to put the information out there, you know. So this is how the word got spread across, you know, the four corners of the earth. This is how the doctrine got spread throughout the four corners of the earth through the men of Great Millstone. They spread that word through the internet. They've done some great work because it has spread, you know. And Esau, your time is finished, man. You know, you don't have much time on that clock. The Lord is about to come back, and your ass is going into captivity. Plain and simple, man. You're going into hardcore slavery. Not before your wicked kingdom gets doused with fire. Our land gotta get doused with fire. It gotta be purified from all the defilement that them small hats do over there, man. You know, they even have a thing called kosher pork. Man, that's some bullshit. Kosher pork? Get out of here with that nonsense. Like, these people are truly the wicked. And if you can't see that, and if you still trying to align yourself with Esau, Edom, you deserve whatever you get behind that, man. Straight up. These people rape, rob, and murder, and pillage. And they do everything that's wicked, man. They'll rape you, they'll rob you, they'll murder you, then they'll have sex with you, then they'll eat you. You could choose whatever order you want to put it in. You know, they're gonna do it to you, man. They're gonna do you foul. These wicked elites, exactly what they are. Wicked elites, man. They think that their kingdom gonna last forever. They think they could do whatever they want to do, and that the Most High don't see what they're doing. You know, they poison their people with food. They poison their mentality with pornography. They poison everything, you know what I'm saying? They poison everything, man. They destroy everything they touch. These people need to be taken off of it. So, to watch these prophecies play out is a beautiful, exciting thing, man. It's a beautiful time we're living in. You know, we get to watch the Lord do a magnificent work. This is verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. See, Esau thinks he's that clever, man. You know, Amalek thinks he's that clever. These wicked elites think that they're that clever. You know, that the world don't see how foul you are, how double-minded you are. You talk out the side of your neck, on both sides of your neck. You say one thing and you mean another, you know. And you allow them small hats to talk you into some. You allow them to talk you into a situation that you can't get out of. You can't go back now. You have to keep moving forward. And those nations in that desert, you know, you got some that align themselves with you because, you know, they just as wicked. They all wicked, you know. But Iran not playing with you, you know. They're not playing with you. And because of your double-mindedness, because of your talking out the side of your neck, you say one thing and meaning something else and do something else. You know, that's just going to cause other nations to come down on you even more, man. You know, though nobody trusts you. You truly have no allies. You know, nations are starting to pull their resources from you. They're starting to pull their gold out your reserves. They're setting themselves up because they know this place is finished. They're setting themselves up thinking that, you know, they could possibly be the next to rule, or they're aligning themselves with the next to rule. You know, all of y'all are mistaken, because the next kingdom to come is the kingdom of Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi. So that kingdom of righteousness, the kingdom of heaven here on earth, ruled in righteousness. You're going to be ruled in righteousness, whether you do it willingly or kicking and screaming. Yeah, you're going to do it in righteousness. You know, you will be ruled in righteousness, and you will follow the laws of the Bible. This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard their silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So, you know, you could say whatever you want, man. You could promise Iran whatever you want to promise them, man. They not dealing with you no more, man. They know how wicked you are. You know, you try to say that Lebanon wasn't put on the table. So you still got these wicked ass small hats over there still bombing the hell out of them, you know. So they don't want your silver. They don't want your gold, man. Even though they do want reparations, you know, for all the travesty, you know, saying all the heinous and you know heinous actually caused, all the heinous actually you've done, all the travesty, you know, saying that you've committed over there, all the heinous crimes. Yeah, they want reparations, but they know you're not going to deliver on that. They put up demands that they know you're not going to fulfill. They gave demands that they know you will not fulfill. You are not able to fulfill that. So what else is left, man? All out war. Welcome to World War III. Verse 18. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. Yeah, man. You go over there and fight these people, man. You go over there to the Levant. You go over there to Western Asia with your guns ablazing. Their missiles will dash you to pieces. And they shall not have, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. So you guys that go over there, you women that get drafted, there's gonna be no mercy. Their eye shall not spare children. So, you know, These are young men and young women that are going to be going out there, along with some elders, you know what I'm saying, some older cats. But there's going to be a whole slew of these young YNs, you know, and all y'all going to go over there and get slayed because you have no military training. You don't want to be military trained. So when they, you know, when they come and get you, man, you gonna go in kicking and screaming. You're not gonna go in there willingly. You're not gonna go in there with the right frame of mind of, oh, I want to be trained to do this and do it right. So, you know, you're going to go over there and you're going to get slaughtered. Verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, it's like the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like it. Yo. Nothing is going to save none of you. Nothing is going to save Babylon. The Lord has already written it. It's already been spoken. Babylon is finished. So, you know, the Lord already showed his hand. He already told you what he's going to do. And there's nothing you could do about that. So, if you haven't come back to the you know, and repented and come back to the Lord, and this is Israel, the true biblical Israelites, which is you so-called Native Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. If you haven't come back to the Most High Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, in truth and sincerity, and repent for your wicked acts, your wicked deeds that you've done in this lifetime and in the past, man, it's over for you. You're going to taste some hot fire. Call Allah Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachak Radash, Abad Babal.